and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley.
Defending Terrell Farley,
who last week in his first start was a holy terror, number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Welcome to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. Thanks again for joining us here on a wonderful day in sports, a wonderful day for our country. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The only thing that's missing a little bit here is my main man, Terrell Farley, the Blackshirt, of course. He is off and on vacation, so for this week, it will be Bock and the Boss Man, DP, jumping in studio with me. What's up, Kenny Wilhite, join on Tuesday. We'll try to reach out to Todd Euler, see if he can join us for
Montana
Wednesday as well. Yes.
From Montana or where? Where's Euler?
I don't know. I thought it was like a herd of, what was that, bucks or something. I don't know what he ran into the other
those
day.
are lopes. Yeah, a herd of lopes. I've been in that part of the country. Who knows what animal shows up?
It is dangerous out there. It's funny because in his story, he's kind of like talking, kind of out for a walk, and you hope those herd don't turn on you. Like start looking at you walking toward you.
There's a belief system and a trust required that Mother Nature is going to take care of you, and it doesn't always do that. So we know that to be true. I think I talked to Nick. I think he's going to cover Thursday with Austin Friday, or Austin Thursday and Nick Friday, one of the two. I think Nick's not available Friday, so he said he would step in Thursday and then Austin on Friday.
Okay, well, there we go. We got a full list of folks to join in on Bock the Blackshirt. Should be a fun week. Again, no shortage of storylines. Certainly today, but that we'll see throughout the week as well. Nebraska basketball rises up. It is a glorious day in that occasion as well. Nebraska now number 7. The new AP poll coming out is the highest ranking Nebraska has ever had. Of course, they are 18-0. What a wonderful run it has been. You look at the top 7, by the way: Arizona number 1, UConn number 2, Michigan number 3, Purdue number 4, Duke number 5, Houston number 6, and Nebraska there at number 7. Iowa State dropped a couple games, dropped from the undefeated ranks against Kansas, and then lost to Cincinnati. So it was a tough week for the Cyclones. So they fall to number 9. By the way, a team that Nebraska has beaten. Michigan State now in the top 10 at number 10. And another team that Nebraska beat there at number 11 is Illinois. So no soft schedule for the Huskers. We know that. The work now kind of working toward the Michigan game. A lot of people are counting down to play number 3 Michigan. A couple games after that will be number 4 Purdue. So Nebraska's going to have a lot of time to prove themselves. If they need any more proof than being undefeated at this point in time. But there is, of course, plenty of talk in college basketball circles about waiting for Nebraska to fall and feeling like this still might not be what it is. But I don't know what else to tell you, national folks. Nebraska is 18-0. It is an incredible run. And specifically, I've got a lot of respect for Dana Altman over there at Oregon. A lot of respect for Chris Collins over there at Northwestern. Those guys have made my Husker fandom a nightmare at time going up against them. Certainly Altman more at Creighton than Oregon, but also at Oregon, and Chris Collins doing so at Northwestern. And that's where Nebraska has kind of taken that next step after beating Ohio State and Indiana. And Oregon and Northwestern combined 1-13 in league play. So, I mean, they're not in their best they're not the best at their peak where those coaches have had them in the past before. But nevertheless, this has kind of been the step, DP, is, going from kind of close wins against top level competition. Now you face the bottom of the Big Ten. You're kind of worried, okay, don't overlook anything. You got to go out there and still compete against these guys with all the respect in the world. Nebraska has done that. And of course, gets the biggest win in Big Ten history for the Huskers against Oregon, follows that up with a very nice victory over Northwestern, 77-58 this past weekend.
What's twofold? One, I don't want to talk about Michigan until Michigan. I don't want to talk about Michigan until Michigan. I just think it's fair and good to be present. Like there are some fans that talk about, well, the Nebraska fans are getting ahead of themselves and they're looking at this and looking at that. First of all, enjoy Nebraska fans, enjoy this basketball thing as good as you can enjoy it. Be in the moment. Like really cool. 18-0, 22 straight wins in the program. Okay, fine. Yep. Live it up, throw confetti, do the whole works. Literally parade down O Street. And then there's one game. That's it. It's a home game. It's Wednesday. You don't have to worry about anything else. That's how you got here. That's how you should stay here. The one game. Now, celebrate 18 consecutive wins. 22 in the program. Bravo. The other side of it is, yeah, kind of cool when people look at you and go, man, I'd sure like to be the one to take down them Nebraska boys. That's a change in personality. That's a change in culture. Hey, Bock, since it's all of a sudden last month, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, you could walk into the bar and nobody would say your name. Nobody knew you. They didn't even care. Oh, it's just Huskers. You walk in now, you get the Norm cheer. Norm! You get the Huskers. You walk in and go, hey, Huskers. You belong. You belong. And they're welcoming you. You're the story. You are the story. It's just a really cool time. It's a really cool thing to say that Nebraska, that Fred Hoiberg, Coach Fred Hoiberg, and what he has done, what he's been through, and how he went through it. He did it with class, dignity. He did it with pride. He did it with some toughness and resiliency, where he said, I'm just going to stick to the good thing. I'll adjust, but the good things I'm going to take forward, and the things that aren't so good, I'm going to adjust and fix. There is no mistake that this roster was put together piece by piece, brick by brick, to do exactly what it's done. And even you can't get to this if you don't plan for it. This isn't an accident. Defensive schemes aren't an accident. Offensive players in the right position, having another player step up, having answers on the road, having a plan for how you're going to travel in the Big Ten, and then Bock to be dominant at home. That's a 19-point Big Ten road win after packing your building and playing out. What a cool time to be a Husker basketball fan, right? Bravo.
It really is. And I can't emphasize this enough. I was talking to somebody who said, they hadn't been checking in or whatever, and somebody kind of brought up Nebraska basketball to him and mentioned how they're undefeated, and it just kind of made him look twice like, what do you mean? So it is the national story, like you said, in college basketball. Now you got all these pundits trying to figure out, okay, well, what does it mean though? Can we actually put Nebraska as a 1 seed, all that sort of stuff? Like you're saying, that's kind of putting the cart before the horse. There's a lot of game to be had before you get to the NCAA tournament, but it is obviously an unfamiliar feeling for Nebraska fans. And we know, the sports, if you set it up for the tournament to kind of be the be all end all, you're still going to be looking toward that as fans. But it's kind of a refreshing feeling not to be sitting there and thinking, well, can they sneak into the tournament? Or, what are they going to have to do? All these RPI quality wins, all this sort of stuff. There's not much of that going on right now. And to your point, though, too, with Fred Hoiberg, it is amazing to watch, not just credit to Fred, but credit to the University of Nebraska for sticking by Fred, because I don't know if that would have happened at every institution given his first 3 years here. He is now up to 102 and 108 here at Nebraska. His conference record still 44 and 82, just under 35%. And DP, we talk about all the time. We were here for it. We sat through those post-game shows when they were winning 7, 10 games a year. And it didn't feel like there was a whole lot of hope. And for Fred, he kind of had to change what he was kind of looking for in kind of as a system. I want to play this real quick. Adam played it, and he had kind of a response. Kind of funny because it brought him to kind of think about the football program. But as a jump shooter, to think about how things have changed, and you look at the Fred Hoiberg system, how things have changed over the years. Listen to Fred here on finding guys open on the run.
And Price missed probably his 2 best looks of the night, and he just, when he gets loose in transition, our guys have done a great job of finding him. We've really stressed that to our team. When we're at the break, is do everything you can to locate where Price is, where Braden is, to our shooters, where Rink is, sometimes trailing the play when he hasn't going. And our guys have really bought into that. And again, that speaks to the unselfishness. I think the maturity of this team. It's an old group, and they've really bought into the whole team concept on both ends of the floor.
So there you go. There's Fred Hoiberg. I want to ask you, the former basketball coach, once a coach, always a coach, of course. And because I hear that as a jump shooter, I think a coach buying into finding an open 3-point shooter in transition, even a traveler, or even a follower there in Rick Mass' case. He's not saying fast break, right? So there's a little bit of a difference there, but that's a little bit of different thinking than maybe had been 10, 15 years ago.
Well, I mean, the game has evolved. The game has changed. There's the Steph Curry evolution of basketball, right? To change the way people were playing, to identify here in Nebraska under the Casey Tamanaga era, right? That there was some point to getting space, the value of an open three, and the ability of a player to knock that down, right? In transition, it's the best space. Spacing is offense. Offense is spacing. And the shooter, it's the old Gale Sayers, I need X number of inches of daylight. Well, a shooter needs the same thing. And Bock, you as a corner three, you get it, that you know the timing, you know the length that bothers you, and if there's neither length or space issue, you're going to get a really good look at the three, and you like your percentages. Well, at this group, in this particular group, Fred Hoiberg knows who can hit what shots when. And the rule is always take a good shot. And a good shot, quite frankly, there's some open three shooters that I feel better about than layup shooters. There's some bigs that I'm not sure can finish, right? I know that people believe what they believe. The numbers have meant different things over time. But in transition, and you're right, the difference between in a fast break where you have the advantage and you can get to the bucket more quickly than they can defend it, versus the spatial defending of a 3-point shooter who's shooting it currently at 40%. Just the likelihood that possession can end positively. 2 of 5 of those possessions are going to end well for Nebraska. If you say in 5 possessions that you end up with 6 points, is that your number? Is that the number that you want per possession? And if it isn't, right, because you still think you can get a higher percentage at 2, if I can go get a layup in 5 possessions, that's 10 points. You can't always go get a layup. So what's the better shot? Take the better shot. That's all he's asking for.
Well, and it's kind of fun to kind of go through that in your own head, and in the development of growth of basketball, or change, I should say, not necessarily development, just change, right, in basketball, is that it's interesting because that's not necessarily the answer for every team. That's not necessarily a good strategy for every Nebraska team that we've seen under Fred Hoiberg. And as to your point, he mentioned guys in there specifically that you're looking for. It's not every guy that you're looking for in transition with an open three. But I go back to our old friend Eric Strickland, who kind of pointed out that if you're at the NBA level, you better be hitting 80% or strive to be. And if you're a shooter out there, you better be hitting 80% of your open threes. So if you can get an open,
I don't know anybody.
Strive to is the point.
Well, you strive to hit 100% of your open threes because it's open three. Like an open three means it shouldn't be contested. There's space. You follow your routine. You follow all your mechanics. You have a clean brain. Right? You don't have anything carrying. You're not carrying luggage with you over the last shot or the next shot. You're simply in that space. So every shot attempt should be with the release of thinking. A good shot is, I think it's going down.
Yeah.
I think it's going down. And get this part. that your coach thinks it's going down.
That's the biggest thing, yeah.
Because there are a lot of shooters who shoot and hope it goes down. There are shooters who expect it to go down. Those are the guys that you know what? Open look. Okay, can I knock this thing down? Can I knock it down? I'd say if you say to open three and you're shooting 50%, I think most people are in an open three. Oh my goodness. I love you so much. Please come play basketball for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's not realistic, right? Like you said, to get 80% of your open threes. But, to that point, it's probably somewhere in between because Bryce Sanford is shooting 41% from around the arc, and most of those are not open. So if you can find him open, he's going to be even shooting a higher percentage than that. And again, it's all about identifying those guys. I say with my own game, if I'm open for a three, I'm going to take it. And whether you know my game or not, you'll find out soon. It's better than me dribbling the ball and maybe getting a turnover. If I get at least a shot up, generally is going to be better. Obviously, these guys can handle much better than me. But there's certain guys, to whatever level can kind of relate to that sort of thing. There's, and I don't want to call anybody out necessarily, but if you've got an open three, and maybe there is a lane to the bucket, maybe kind of previous thinking would be try to get the closest shot you can, going back decades. But now, obviously, with how much the 3-point matters and how much the 3-point matters to Nebraska, because Nebraska, again, hasn't been always the approach, I suppose, from the Fred Hoiberg Nebraska teams. More of kind of the approach that they had at Iowa State at times. But you've got to have the shooters available to you to do that, or you'll kind of have a different thing. And my point I was trying to get back to, Big Ten, traditionally kind of a land of giants, right? But a little bit different this year, I would say.
But here's the thing, to elevate Bock's game, what I would, as a coach, what I need for him to do is, one, I need for him to plant the seed that he can knock down that corner three, that open corner three. Why? Because our opponent then has to defend it.
Mm-hmm.
And if they have to defend it, then I'm going to put him under duress. In every sport, my ability to put my opponent under duress and be comfortable in it gives me the advantage. And so if I can get them to close out to Bock, and Bock knows, yeah, but if I'm the best teammate I can be, I can make the pass to the cutter for the layup. That's the payoff. Like, that's the balance. We talk about apex defending and being midpoint between the three-point shooter and the guy in the paint. Well, your ability to defend both is location and spacing. And if I can get Bock to pump fake and go by, or I can have Bock step to the right from where he catches to create a passing, give the ball back to the big or the cutter, I've made us all better. Now, if they don't think Bock can hit the three, they're not going to close out the. Go ahead, Bock. Go ahead. You're just giving me the ball back. Cool. Thanks. There it is. The ability to hit the shot and knowing what a good shot is transcends. It reaches your opponent. Your opponent knows. Bock's on a heater. I gotta close out. And then the first time you pump fake on the heater and go by for a layup, that'll slow his close out a little bit. And then if you do defend it, break down, and cut you to the baseline, then it's the Sam Hoiberg theory. Wherever pressure comes from, I'm going to pass to the pressure. If help defender helps off the big, I'm going to find the big. If help comes off the shooter on the opposite side or at top of the key, I'm going to go to him with a good pass so he can knock down the three. And I don't care. As a good teammate, a good player, I don't care who knocks down the bucket in transition. I just care that we get a good shot and the bucket. That's what I want.
Well, and again, I think that's what we've seen from this team. And that's what makes it so great, and the fun throughout it is the ability to pass the ball. I mean, we talk all about, the 3-point shooting, the defense, but you go back to that assist to turnover ratio. It's 2-1 as a team.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you're looking for out of your point guard. It is 2-1 as a team. That is incredible for this team as we see it get going. I did want to ask you a few different things. One off the text line, one, from my own head here, is that Rink Mass, of course, the last couple of games, less minutes, didn't need him as much, of course, in kind of these blowouts. Coach Hoiberg said, part of it was just that Berke was playing so effectively in the second half against Northwestern. And now we've seen it all together. And again, as we talk about teammates, maybe it doesn't matter as much who the leading scorer is, but for much of the year, Rink Mass was in that conversation. Price Sanford now at 16.7 points per game. Rink Mass now at 15.1. It's just part of this team story. And Rink Mass was named midseason All-American last week. I'm interested to see kind of how this develops and how it moves forward. But I guess my question to you is, do you see this as a theme? Is this just kind of a few games here against lesser opponents than what they will face, or, the top of the Big Ten that allows you to kind of work out some things here? What are your thoughts on Rink Mass not getting as much playing time the last couple games?
I know that people need to understand that he is still in recovery. He is still in rehabilitation. And now you get to do the thing that good teams and good programs get to do. I know they're two four-letter words to most basketball fans, but load management is real. And if you could take some of the burden, if you say, is it more important for Rink Mass to pile up minutes in a 19-point win early in the season, or for him to be fresh-legged in the Big Ten in the national tournament? Because now you get to project to that. You get to think to that. Now you play how you play. And if your other bigs, and a reminder, you've got two bigs sitting on the bench in development, and a third that's actually getting minutes and getting moments. Garcia's on the floor and getting better. But you've got Oogie is sitting on the bench, and you're waiting for him to hit the full switch, right? That's another big that falls in line. Is it more important for you to wear out Rink Mass, or do you want him healthy later in the season? Sometimes those decisions become easy for you. Allow them to be made.
All right. The next question we have here off the text line, I'll do a little bit of answering it with myself, but we do want to get your thoughts on this too, DP. 8002. How in the heck does Sam get the most rebounds when he's the smallest guy in the court? If you look at it, Sam Hoiberg right now averaging 5 rebounds a game is incredible. That's third on the team. Rink Mass was 6.2, and Berke, of course, has done a great work on the boards this year at 6.1 points per game. Part of it is the 3-point shooting. This is kind of what helped Russell Westbrook in the modern age of guards kind of getting up there in the rebounds. Is, the further the shot, the further it clunks off the rim. So kind of those mid-range rebounds are possibilities. But of course, that's not all of the story, because there's not every 6-foot guy out there averaging 5 rebounds per game. DP, in your mind, how is Sam Hoiberg affecting the game on the offensive rebounds, just rebounds in general, from his diminutive stature?
Two points. One, in the old Rodman theory, that if I spend time ball tracking off shots and where those shots are going to miss and where the ball is going to be, then it pays off in games. That's a +2 rebound sort of situation per game. Just identifying as a defender, and by effort alone, by intention alone, I'm going to rebound. Okay, fine, because that puts them in a better position than the people shooting. And the other is this: Nebraska, on purpose, intentionally, blocks out at a high level so that those loose balls, they have an extra rebounder in the pool. It's Sam Hoiberg. It's Sam Hoiberg. That's how it works. If 3 of your bigs are simply battling to get body on, well, what happens? Then that loose ball becomes Sam Hoiberg's ball. It's an extra defender. Remember, offensively, you need one player back, so there's no fast break transition. So you're going to concede one. Sam Hoiberg doesn't concede that. He'll go get it. And then even offensively, he'll read the shot. He knows his shooters. He knows it. He plays with them every day. And if you're shooting from the corner, he knows if you miss short, where the rebound's going to be. If you miss long, where's the rebound likely to go? If you miss to the left from the corner 3, where does it bounce? Bock, it bounces to the middle of the floor at mid-range. If you miss it short on the front of the rim side, where does it bounce? If you know those things and you play with that, that's how rebounding becomes more proficient.
Well, there you go. A little bit of look inside there. Sam Hoiberg's effort, certainly a big part of it as well. All right, let's go ahead and take a break. Nebraska is number 7 in the nation, the highest it's ever been. It's a glorious day. College football championship as well. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Happy holiday to everybody out there. We'll be back with more Bock and the Black Shirt. Boss Man stepping in for the Black Shirt today. Myself and DP will be back after this.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, One family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Hi, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear with Honda of Lincoln. Before I bring Andy on, we want to wish you joy, success, and good health in 2026. Andy, are you there?
Yes, I am, Charlie. And by the way, that was well said.
Andy, I know you want to kick off 2026 with a bang. What's going on at the dealership?
We got a lot going on here, Charlie. We have incredible savings on every new remaining 2025, New Year's savings on every new 2026, special low long-term financing, and special lease rates. The biggest news is we have more than 400 new 2025 and 2026 Hondas to choose from.
How about pre-owned?
We have over 125 pre-owned and certified pre-owned Hondas right now, with prices starting at under $10,000, and we have special low rates.
Well, maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service, bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934, and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
A lot of people in the summertime think, gee, I want to build a new home. By the time they go through the process of sitting down, getting the permits, and getting the home started, the home isn't done until January or February.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, and they've built neighborhoods in and around Lincoln for over 25 years.
I think the best time to start designing your new home is the month of January, because get an early start on it. Sit down, the snow's flying, let's sit around the table, let's drop some plans, let's put numbers together, let's get a budget put together, and let's get that thing started so that the home's done in summer or fall before school starts. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Husker Nation, the countdown is on for the biggest women's basketball event of the year, PAC PBA, coming up January 24th. This year, we're heating things up with the Big Red Beach Party. Watch your Huskers take on Big Ten opponent Illinois, decked out in your best tropical gear, with a specialty tropical drink in hand, all inside Pinnacle Bank Arena. PAC PBA is your tropical getaway right here in Lincoln. Get your tickets today at huskers.com/PACPBA.
This is Alexander Fern, the voice of the Lincoln Stars, telling you to join the Stars Saturday, January 24th at the Icebox for our annual Aubrey Brown Club night. The Stars are at home to take on the Omaha Lancers at 6 p.m. Proceeds from the night will go toward a great cause. The Aubrey Brown Club is a local foundation that helps parents through the tragedy of child loss. The Stars will be wearing special jerseys that will be auctioned off following the game. And don't miss a great night for a great cause at the Icebox, Saturday, January 24th. Tickets are available at lincolnstars.com. Proceeds from the night will be donated to the Opry Bound Club.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
We are back here on Bock and the Blackshirt on 93.7 The Ticket. DP in for Terrell. Today, Terrell will be out for the week. He won his pick'ems this year. He won the pick'em challenge here on the show, and he didn't have to wait for the college football championship game to do so. So didn't have to make any special plans to go around it. Because I think if it would have came down to tonight, he might have postponed his vacation. I mean, that's how important it was to him. But congratulations to Terrell, and hopefully he has a good time out there.
But I want to win. I want to win.
And who doesn't, right? Isn't that the most fun? I'm still trying to teach my son how to lose. He's 4 years old, and every game we play, I try to play a game of tic-tac-toe with him, and he just wants to continue to do it until that he wins. So I'm trying to teach him. I'm telling him every day it's okay to lose, as he goes out there and starts playing games with other kids. But he's got his dad's aggressiveness and frustration. I mean, I don't like to lose either, so that was all part of it. Yep. I did take him, by the way, to women's tennis there on Friday. I was going to ask you, DP. I saw you there. He wasn't quite ready for it. He's a little bit rambunctious. It's funny, no matter what scenario in, a frustrated 4-year-old can certainly change the situation. So I didn't get to stay for too long because he wouldn't sit still. But how was the experience for Herman DeMagro in women's tennis there against a team that you're a little bit familiar with from your neck of the woods?
Well, it's always interesting. So I went to see the men on Saturday, the women on Friday, and better crowds than last year.
Already, okay.
Even with the weird weather, because as I left there Friday, it's snowing in full, and I went, "Oh, squall, cool." But it's indoors, so you don't have to worry about that. Great performance, of course. Ray Lee Coe, who debuted her show here on the Ticket Saturday afternoon. She was gritty. She got 2 wins on Friday night. She won her doubles match, and then came from behind, lost the first set, and came back in 3 sets to take her match as well. So the Huskers had a good weekend, both against James Madison and Omaha. And then the men, same thing, a gritty performance. I tell you, they're 1s and 3s, and it was just really cool to watch them figure it out. The style of play is different, right? Because then you start to notice the speed in which the ball comes off the racket, even for women, is woof. What are you like? I was in your head. You answer. Could I return that? No, I could. No, I could. I really couldn't. She's good. And then
might get a bracket on it. That's
right. Like, bro, I would swing and a miss like Serrano on a curveball. Like I mean, nowhere near that thing. But I do. It's the thing that after watching in great crowds, both matches and all 3 days, I'm going to say to Husker Nation, go support the men's and women's tennis, because the fans have more impact on those games, on that sport, more than probably any other, just from proximity, just from closeness to the action, being able to cheer and let the Husker fans hear. They enjoy it to have fans there, and they enjoy it when somebody responds to their fist pump or their "let's go," right? That's their call to action, right? Is to hear them go, "Let's go." That lets their teammates know there's something good happening on their end of the court. So if you get a chance, get yourself over to Dillon Tennis Center. It's a good event.
Yeah, it really was. It was my first time going. Despite being a leaky night this whole time, I hadn't made it out there. And so I did. I had a great time. Again, next time I think I might go without my 4-year-old son, so I can focus a little bit more on the tennis. But it really is cool. I mean, you can't have a better seat. There's no bad seat in the house.
Right.
What do you say? Capacity is a few hundred folks there.
1,400 is what
wow.
what I was told, and then I would imagine that there's room for 100 standing, so probably 1,500.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
it's free.
Yeah, that's the best part of all of this is if you're not doing anything. I mean, they have all these matches, bringing talent from all over the nation, obviously,
All over the world,
and yeah, definitely all over the world. If you look at how they've scouted this, if you scout each roster, Nebraska's roster, all this talent is coming from all over the world, and it will season tickets. They go in every time. Will cost you a total of $0. So there's not much you can do in this life or in this time, especially this day and age, for free anymore. But to watch that and watch the growth, of course, on the women's side, and then on the men's side, it's not just growth. They're at the peak the program's been too. We talk about Nebraska basketball being number 7 this year. Last year, was about as good as Nebraska men's tennis
top
has been.
40 ranking.
Shout out to Peter
top
Koval.
30 in the neighborhood. Here's what happens this week. So Sunday, of course, I think kicking off the Sunday, 11 o'clock, it's Huskers men's tennis versus Memphis. The Memphis Tigers come to town. Because at 1 o'clock, Ohio State comes to Devaney for wrestling.
That's a big one.
Right. So you have a chance.
Yeah. You'll be in the neighborhood.
Right. You'll be right down the street, right across the street. Right. You can do both. And then at 4 o'clock, another tennis match against Drake. Opportunity, like, to go and make a day of it. Wrestling is you need the pricey ticket, especially because it's Ohio State. But tennis is free. It's free. And they did a thing Saturday morning, when it was super cold, free Krispy Kremes and coffee.
Oh, wow.
Free Krispy Kreme donuts and coffee. Yeah, it was a win.
Yeah.
It was a win. For the women are home. They're home Friday. Oh, this is a good one. So Friday at 5 o'clock at Dillon Tennis, Kansas State comes to town.
Okay. Friends from Manhattan.
That's a good one. And again, it's free. So opportunities to go support Herman Almagro and Peter Cobelt. Finally met Peter's sister, who coaches she's assistant for the women, and he's the men's coach. So it was pretty cool to watch them out there doing their thing. And they both have different coaching styles. It's pretty cool to watch because we kind of know what to look for. But Peter Cobelt they both have their own I'm coaching stance. And you can tell based on the arms being folded where the hands are, whether they're happy with the way their squad is playing. But a great event. So get yourselves down to Dillon Tennis Center.
When it is too, it's an experience, because I was talking to you about it as well, is that when you watch them, like typically when you think of a coach overlooking a football game or a basketball game, all eyes on the match, the action, all that sort of stuff. When they're doing doubles or they have singles, and it's just, there's all these different matches going on at once. And so the coach kind of has to walk where he's needed. Of course, you have assistants and people that can help you out too. But it just kind of blows my mind. And I think that's one of the things that probably prevents a few people from going. And I want to be here, kind of firsthand experience to tell you, whether it's wrestling, tennis, whatever sport, you don't have to understand everything about it. You can kind of you kind of learn as you go. Certainly firsthand experience and seeing it and cheering on a team that matters to you in the Huskers will help and kind of pique your interest and kind of get you going. Of course, you've got your phone. Helps if you have a guy like DP sitting there kind of breaking it down too. But you can have, different folks will be there. And so, you can ask and get conversations rolling. So if it is that you just are kind of unfamiliar with every rule and of the game, I can tell you, again, for both wrestling and tennis, that I don't know. I couldn't break it down for you, every rule. But I was learning, and it's fun. And that's maybe more fun than anything, is that I will probably go back, and I'll definitely go back. And when I do, I'll already have that information in. And so that will be kind of downloaded and already fun for me, and I can kind of improve my my awareness and understanding of what's going on. But is there any better thing than actually learning, like improving your own knowledge the initial time? So if that's what's scaring you or preventing you, especially from a free event like tennis, don't let it. I mean, you can pick it up as it goes, and you might not be the most experienced guy in the room, but you're cheering on the Huskers and you're learning, and that's again, what's better than that?
Well, I mean, again, every Tuesday. So tomorrow, Peter Cobalt will be in studio. And then Thursday, Herman Delmarco will be in studio. And they make a point to come in and have these discussions with people. One, in learning how they build the roster, how they pick their talent, how they develop their players. The big story was Thursday when Herman came in. I kind of put him in the corner and asked him about his lineup. Even with that, knowing that he's not going to fully disclose it. Well, he had a player that found out Friday morning, day of the match, that she had an ankle injury, foot injury, and wouldn't be able to participate. And that's kind of the thing. He came over and explained it, and like, this is what's going on. And and Henry, that came in the men's program, when he came in, he had his wrist in a brace. Well, yeah, now he's got some rehab work to do. He's got to strengthen the wrist. He thinks he'll be ready sometime in time for a Big Ten season. So there's lots of the stories in the breakdown, but this is the benefit of having the players and coaches come in. They tell you things. They actually explain to you the stuff that you don't understand.
Yes. And I do want to give a shout out to you for getting those guys in the room, in the building too, because I think that draws awareness of, to the sport. And to, again, the Husker sport of it, right? Lincoln, Nebraska, as we know, great at supporting the Huskers. And so, that's obviously also helped draw me to that event, is kind of getting to know the guys, getting to know their program building,
they're good
what
dudes.
They're looking for. Yeah, absolutely.
They're good dudes. That's when you can say those Husker coaches, those are good guys. These are guys that are doing it the right way. They're doing it for the right reason, and they're getting the right result.
So there you have it. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break. We got plenty more to talk about when we get back. Let's talk about a surprising firing today in the NFL. A guy that just had a chance less than 24 hours ago, had a chance still to make a run to the Super Bowl. We'll talk about that coming next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue. Hog Wild has a delicious way for you to enjoy beef brisket. It's our open-faced hot beef sandwich. We start with our grilled Texas toast. Add a scoop of creamy mashed potatoes. Load them up with some tender Hog Wild beef brisket. And top it off with our tasty brown gravy. It's absolutely delicious. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
This is Alexander Fern, the voice of the Lincoln Stars, telling you to join the Stars Saturday, January 24th at the Icebox for our annual Aubrey Brown Club night. The Stars are at home to take on the Omaha Lancers at 6 p.m. Proceeds from the night will go toward a great cause. The Aubrey Brown Club is a local foundation that helps parents through the tragedy of child loss. The Stars will be wearing special jerseys that will be auctioned off following the game. And don't miss a great night for a great cause at the Icebox Saturday, January 24th. Tickets are available at lincolnstars.com. Proceeds from the night will be donated to the Aubrey Brown Club.
A lot of people in the summertime think, gee, I want to build a new home. By the time they go through the process of sitting down, getting the permits, and getting the home started, the home isn't done until January or February.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, and they've built neighborhoods in and around Lincoln for over 25 years.
I think the best time to start designing your new home is the month of January, because get an early start on it. Sit down, the snow's flying. Let's sit around the table. Let's drop some plans. Let's put numbers together. Let's get a budget put together, and let's get that thing started so that the home's done in summer or fall before school starts. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Husker Nation, the countdown is on for the biggest women's basketball event of the year, Pack PBA, coming up January 24th. This year, we're heating things up with the Big Red Beach Party. Watch your Huskers take on Big Ten opponent Illinois, decked out in your best tropical gear, with a specialty tropical drink in hand, all inside Pinnacle Bank Arena. Pack PBA is your tropical getaway right here in Lincoln. Get your tickets today at huskers.com/packpba.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Surrounding area. Yin and Yang Acupuncture and Rune Wind Healing Arts is now open at 1701 South 17th Street in Suite 3G and ready to help you improve your general health. If you're experiencing pain, headaches, or any other issues, give Yin and Yang Acupuncture a call today at 402-480-1014 to schedule your appointment. For those struggling with deep tissue pain or just need an experienced massage therapist to melt the stress away, call Rune Wind Healing Arts at 402-601-9721 and schedule your appointment now. Visit Yin and Yang Acupuncture and Rune Wind Healing Arts today in Lincoln at 1701 South 17th Street in Suite 3G. Clear your calendar. It's a volleyball weekend in Omaha. Love Nebraska returns to Baxter Arena for back-to-back home matches on January 30th and February 1st, facing Love Madison and Love Austin. 2 matches, 2 chances to see your hometown team compete as the season heats up. Featuring Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson taking on the likes of Lauren Carlini and Maddie Skinner, and special moments throughout the weekend. This is your opportunity to catch all the action live. Make it one night or both nights. Get your tickets now at lobbneb.com/tickets.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
We are back here on Bock the Blackshirt on 93.7 The Ticket. I'm Jake Bachman. He is DP. Derek Pearson filling in for Terrell Farley. Just a few minutes in this segment, but we've got some things to talk about. First of all, I did want to say, I know this is a game that's important to you. So, again, politics aside, President Donald Trump is set to sign an executive order granting the Army-Navy game an exclusive 4-hour window. This decision comes amid talks of expanding the college football playoff to 16 and even 24. We can get to that in a little bit when we have a little more time. SEC, Big Ten positioning the size of the playoffs. But I was very interested when I heard this news because there's been talk about maybe moving Army-Navy to week 0, having it kick off the season. So I was wondering kind of what what officially they were going to do. Army Navy, by the way, this is not, these are not independent teams. They're in the American Conference. It's interesting when they did play their game this past year, I was thinking, well, what if they're in the playoff hunt? Then, so I think there needs to be a little bit.
Which they were one win away from.
They weren't
this
far
year.
from. Yeah. So I was wondering about that. So again, all the problems that we have in college football, but at least this allows, kind of puts in the order to, maybe send off to NFL, who's always looking to get, some more time, or just in general, no college football playoffs in this time. And certainly this is great. I know how much you love the Army Navy game. I think every American looks forward to seeing that. And you'd like it to have its own window. So I think that's a little bit of progress. Still a lot more progress to be made in college football, but at least we're in a good starting spot there.
Hey, Bock, it already has its own spot. Okay. Hey, Bock, it's the only game that day.
Yeah,
it's the only Division I game.
Well, again, this is worrying about the playoffs coming up.
But if the possibility of playoffs exists, why would you limit it? Why would you limit a thing that doesn't need limiting?
Well, I think that they would probably on their own find a different spot for Army Navy. Don't get me wrong.
So we learned nothing from Notre Dame, that let's exclude everything for a program instead of just letting it be what it is, right? We don't schedule against it. We just mutually agree that we will pay tribute to that game in the way that we do. It's not like there's not a lot of other things for you to focus on. You got stuff to do.
Yeah.
Stuff to do. It's okay. It's okay.
I was wondering that. Hey,
Bock, we're only Black Friday 11 o'clock for Huskers, Iowa.
Hey,
unless, hey, Bock, what if there's a storm?
Uh-oh.
What are you gonna? Would you do that? Would you do that? Would you? Hey, what if CBS said, "Hey, that's for the Big Ten title. We'd like to move that. We don't want that on Black Friday. We want the whole country to see that."
Well, it's tough to tell what college football's minus thing because they play their semifinal games on Thursday and Friday, and the championship game on Monday.
We're just wild out here in the streets. Oh man,
it's a great Monday. Obviously, you do get the college football championship game. And it's understanding. Some people saying you could have played that Saturday and would have loved to, but then you're going up against the NFL, and nobody wins versus the NFL, specifically the NFL playoffs.
Bock, the NFL could start at 12 o'clock.
Agreed.
Right?
Convince the NFL to do so.
and then because they could have played the one playoff game at 12 noon.
Yeah.
The next one at 4 with the college game at 8.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're going to have to convince the NFL to give up that Saturday night, though.
Oh,
that's the problem.
Good for crying out. Well, what if not? Put it in the middle. Put it in between them.
Find whatever spot they're not
Put
taking.
them in between. Everybody's going to watch the game no matter what time it is. Weirdos. Stop it.
We'll see how it works. But certainly more to talk about in the future with that 16 and 24. In fact, we can do that around the corner. Also, I mentioned the Bills let their coach go, so we'll talk about that as well. And, of course, just there's plenty in the sports calendar here. We'll get a little bit more into the college football championship game as well as some comments made from Matt Rule over the weekend. Lots going on with Husker football. We'll get to all that coming next year on Bock The Blackshirt on 93.7 The Ticket.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealer, invites you to the Spring Equipment and Technology Clinic February 3rd through the 5th at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney. New this year, the planter and sprayer clinics are combined into one streamlined, hands-on event built around growers' time and needs. Get expert training on John Deere planters and sprayers on topics including maintenance, technology, and autonomy. Don't miss it. February 3rd through the 5th in Kearney. Visit landmarkimp.com/events for details.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Hog Wild has a delicious way for you to enjoy beef brisket. It's our open-faced hot beef sandwich. We start with our grilled Texas toast. Add a scoop of creamy mashed potatoes. Load them up with some tender Hog Wild beef brisket. And top it off with our tasty brown gravy. It's absolutely delicious. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Hi, Sean Callahan here with Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and wow, what a year it was at Koppel. The Koppel family would like to say thank you for a record-setting sales year in 2025. Now let's start 2026 off with the bang. New GMC Sierra pickups starting at $12,500 off list or 0% APR. Also hot off the presses, new Terrain leases at $299 per month. That's right, $299 per month on new GMC Terrain leases. So please stop on in the store or online at koppelcars.com. Stock numbers G1388522 and G16518. 2,500 down with proof credit.
Clear your calendar. It's a volleyball weekend in Omaha. Love Nebraska returns to Baxter Arena for back-to-back home matches on January 30th and February 1st, facing Love Madison and Love Austin. 2 matches, 2 chances to see your hometown team compete as the season heats up. Featuring Lexi Rodriguez and Jordan Larson taking on the likes of Lauren Carlini and Maddie Skinner, and special moments throughout the weekend. This is your opportunity to catch all the action live. Make it one night or both nights. Get your tickets now at lobbneb.com/tickets.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey, Lincoln and the surrounding area. Yin and Yang Acupuncture and Rune Wind Healing Arts is now open at 1701 South 17th Street in Suite 3G and ready to help you improve your general health. If you're experiencing pain, headaches, or any other issues, give Yin and Yang Acupuncture a call today at 402-480-1014 to schedule your appointment. For those struggling with deep tissue pain or just need an experienced massage therapist to melt the stress away, call Rune Wind Healing Arts at 402-601-9721 and schedule your appointment now. Visit Yin and Yang Acupuncture and Rune Wind Healing Arts today in Lincoln at 1701 South 17th Street in Suite 3G.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to get stronger just around the corner, so you can give everything you've got. Whether you want to crush a few reps before class with our expanded strength equipment or sweat it out on your way home from work. With over 2,800 locations, there's a Planet Fitness close to you, and most are open 24 hours. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends January 30th. Are you coming? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley.
Defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror. Number 43.
And Jake Bakovic. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Bock the Blackshirt here on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Happy holiday to everybody out there. If you have the day off of work, hopefully you're enjoying listening to us here on 93.7 The Ticket. Once again, no shortage of topics here as we've got the National the college football national championship game. We've got the NFL playoffs. We even got a
professional football championship tonight.
It basically is, yeah. There is a quarterback who mentioned earlier that he hasn't been to class in 2 years here in college football. So that's where we are in college football. But certainly also a lot of excitement for that game. I do want to get to this. I saw a list of the starting quarterbacks since Nebraska played in the national championship game. So we can kind of get to that later and try to figure out if we remember the good times and the best of the college football national championship games. Hopefully this will be among those this evening. At least it's kind of interesting talking to some folks and just around Lincoln and trying to figure out what they want. Again, mostly anti-Miami sentiment, which is fair to be expected. I mentioned earlier on one-on-one DP, I tried to cheer for Miami. It's not in my blood. I can't do it. It was like there was something blocking me from doing it. So I can't quite cheer for Miami, but it's interesting when you have at least have a rooting interest in one side or the other. And I think many people cheer for the Big Ten. It's no longer really that it would be like make you feel any better about Nebraska. I think Nebraska is kind of where they are in the college football landscape. Obviously, whether they're playing in the Big Ten, the SEC, the Big 12, they're not beating the top teams. And of course, that's part of a problem there. So I don't know if it rises up. I think maybe it, again, goes back to the hatred side of just not wanting the SEC to get its way, or at least the South. But it was kind of interesting because I was talking to some folks and, everybody had their opinions about who they wanted. At what point do you just say, you know what, I just want a good game? Because there have been so many great national championship games over the years, and then there are the blowouts. And, I think a lot of them are memorable in their different ways. But I guess more so than fandom, if you don't have a dog in the fight, DP, would you rather just see a good game more than anything tonight?
I'm always team good game. Because then you see the best of us and the worst of us. Right, because you see the Caleb Williams throw to the corner, maybe one of the greatest throws, greatest reads ever, and then immediately following the one throw he cannot make for any reason whatsoever. You see Josh Allen and his brilliance, and then you see Josh Allen being human. Right, you see all of those things. You see Sam Darnold as Clark Kent, right? And then in critical moments, he rips off the glasses and becomes Superman. We've watched all of this. We watched Bo Nix be masterful in leading the Broncos to the championship game, and then in his humanity, getting injured on the last play and limping off the field. I want to see the best in us and the worst in us. That generally happens in close games, competitive games, in meaningful games. I want it to be close. For the fan, I want it to be close. For the broadcasters, I want it to be close. But I'm also okay if there's a little belt to butt going on with the Hoosiers paddling the Hurricanes for an entirely different reason. Because Miami fans are going to be unbearable.
As they are.
They're going to be unbearable if they win tonight. None of us will have peace. Indiana wins it. Hey, let them be jerks for a couple of days, and then they'll go about their way, and they'll quickly turn their attention to Hoosier basketball as they always do. But if Miami wins, oh boy, we're going to get every Miami alum and every Miami Border fan throwing up the U and talking. Oh, we're going to see sideline dances and medallions the size of your car.
Oh, man.
And it's going to be everything but football. So I don't particularly have a dog in the fight, except my humanity says, go Hoosiers.
I wanted to ask, of course, you've been around the nation a little bit more. There's the natural hatred toward, call it natural hatred toward Miami because of the shared history with Nebraska in championship games. Of course, 1983, Tom Osborne went for two. Didn't have to. Would have tied. Won the national championship. Went for two. Ended up not winning that. Of course, 94, when you finally get over the hump. Tom Osborne's first title, that was a victory over Warren Sapp and Ray Lewis and those Miami Hurricanes. Then you fast forward to 2001. Of course, many consider that the greatest greatest college football team of all time, which was Miami. Ended up, you said a little bit earlier, maybe paddling Nebraska a little bit in that game. So again, there's a lot of history there, a lot of recent. I told you too on Friday, my son, I'm teaching him that the opposition to whatever team we're cheering for is the Yankees. I'm trying to get it into his head that we do not like the Yankees.
Right.
Is there such a belief, or is there a nationwide hatred for Miami, or is it, lesser than obviously Nebraska fans? In your travels, is there a general distaste for Miami? Because I think that's, there's obviously a little bit something there with Nebraska, but I think it's just in general, the Catholics versus convicts part of it, just the way that they've run their program over the years.
Well, it is, you got to remember that going back in time. First of all, if you get into the 70s, Miami football is not it. It's not it. I mean, before they bring in Howard Schnellenberger, that program was trash.
Yeah.
Trash.
That's why they're a new blood, not a blue blood.
There was nobody going to games in Miami in the 70s, in the early 70s. Nobody. And then Schnellenberger comes in and they get on a roll and it becomes the U, right? And then all the things they had to do to become it, right? And the U, that 30 for 30 on Miami tells everybody everything. This was not a well-behaved circumstance. And that's kind of true. Even within the state of Florida, the rest of the state despises the U. Florida State Gators, you think they care? You think that would be a wonderful poll, is to find out from college football fans in the state of Florida, how many of them who are not alumni of the University of Miami or fans, how many of them is the rest of the state rooting for Indiana? I would love to know. Now, the rest of the country, we don't like you, Miami. You think Utah, BYU has its own vendetta. USC, own vendetta. Texas, it's got its own vendetta against Miami. Even in the ACC, we accept you, but you're not really ACC.
That's right.
Look, you're not Tobacco Road. You're not Mid-Atlantic. You're a disruptor. You're an invader. Okay, we took you for the money, right? You're the rich kid that moved into the neighborhood once you got money, but you're new money. You're new money. You're not old ACC money. You're new Miami money. And that was new 80s money, right? You got to think Maryland with Bernie Kosar, two of the great games involved Miami and Maryland. No, nobody else is rooting for Miami. It's that pocket. You can paint the entire country one color and then paint over Miami as orange. And that's pretty much the way the rest of the country's rooting for tonight's football game. The rest of the country, we're all Hoosiers fans tonight. You Hurricanes, you're on your own.
Oh, and I do think that makes for a fun dynamic. And I mentioned it earlier, and I hesitate to say it, but it is also true. Miami's kind of Scott Hall. Like, they're the cool bad guy. As much as I hate them and can't cheer for them and all that sort of stuff, there is part of it that I acknowledge. You guys are just so cool. You get to live in Miami. You have a dominant football team. You look down, you trash talk everybody else.
South Beach,
right? I mean, what's better than that? You gotta have quite a bit of dough to live in Miami. I mean, it is a cool place to be.
Well,
you've got it all.
Well, listen, not for nothing, Bock. Let me tell you a secret. Ready for this?
I'm ready.
The people who live in Miami aren't from Miami. And the people who have that money stuff we're talking about, how you get the money is probably the real story of Miami. How you got your money? Oh, real estate. Sure, you got it over real estate. Sure you did. What are you growing things down there? Hurricane country? No, is that what you're doing? Okay, cool. Most of the money down there. Hey, people, how'd you get your money? These aren't the best neighbors, Bock. They don't really like each other. Why? You know why? Because I don't need you looking over my fence into my mansion to see what dirty deal I just pulled off. Wait, listen, Miami, I'm not even anti-Miami in the sense that I don't like cool kids being cool kids. I don't like brats being brats. That's the line. Florida State are people in the state of Florida who, okay, I understand who you are. Right? I understand who you are. But they're not brats. Florida, brats. Right? Gainesville. And if you've ever been to Gainesville, Florida, what are you being brats about? It's not even the good part of the state.
The swamp.
It's a swamp. What are you doing? So yeah, the rest of the country. I really want to know. I need for somebody to go online and find out what percentage of the state of Florida is rooting for the Hurricanes tonight. I need to know. Like, I need to know that. Because my theory is everybody not Miami. Because I can't fathom a Florida Gator rooting for the Hurricanes.
Oh,
I cannot imagine a Seminole rooting for
even
the
Central Florida. Yeah, the Orlando area.
I can't.
No,
I can't. You think UCF? You think they're wearing orange tonight?
I don't think so.
No, I can't be. There's things I need to know.
Another interesting factor in tonight would be, because I've viewed LSU a certain way since, and of course they get Lane Kiffin. I viewed LSU as a spot that, and it's viewed widely as a spot that you could win a national championship at, right? And part of that is that 3 different guys have done it in the last 22 plus years or so. With Nick Saban and Ed Orgeron and Les Miles. Miami's interesting too, and their run somewhat similar. I suppose Cowboys were switching some coaches and included Jimmy Johnson at one point in time. But if they win tonight, that'd be 4 different coaches for their 6 titles, which is interesting. Now, part of it, it's not directly kind of like what I was saying there with LSU, because most of their titles come from the 80s and 90s. Maybe we're too far removed from that, but that really is impressive too. And I think when we look at the vast landscape of college football and try to put programs here and there, of course Nebraska's one with 2 different coaches. I start to look at places and think if more guys can win national titles there, then that must be a better starting spot than most other places, right? Is Miami, to you, whether they win tonight, obviously, could come down to a play. Are they back to kind of having that? Because they went so long with, Mark Richt had a fine tenure there, but like the Randy Shannon, they kind of just they struck out a lot before they landed here. Are they a job that you would say is similar to LSU, where a lot of it's kind of built in that you could compete?
Hey, you know who the most popular, most famous, and richest Hurricane alumni is?
I'd assume The Rock.
Right. Hey, Bob, you're the top coach in the country. And The Rock shows up at your door and says, let's go. How many other programs can do that?
None, not with The Rock.
Right? Because his check's good, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right? His check's good. And you're going to be on the private plane with The Rock. And probably Warren Sapp. And probably Ed Reed. And probably, like, the list goes on.
Michael Irvin, yeah.
Right? It goes on and on and on and on and on. Right? Right? And now Jason Taylor's just hanging out. Right? He's just hanging out. That's a pretty cool situation to be in. So why not do that? Yeah, Miami has always had the it factor because they're willing to do things that other people aren't willing to do, right? They were doing SEC things before the SEC. That's where SEC got the playbook. That's where they got the playbook.
Yeah.
So, okay, we saw Miami. We saw the U. We saw the chains. We saw the gold teeth. We saw all of that, right? The flash, take your helmet off. One Hurricane takes his helmet off after touchdown. They all take their helmets off. And then everybody in the SEC takes their helmet off. It's a copycat deal. Miami is a trend-setting ceiling breaking program. You just let them back in the party. You just let them back in the neighborhood. It's a dangerous thing for the rest of college football, because you're going to have to do University of Miami type things. And if University of Miami has found success doing it, what's Georgia going to do? You think Georgia's just going to hang out and let that happen?
Well, there's a Georgia quarterback starting for Miami tonight.
Right? You think Alabama's going to allow that? You think Texas? You think Texas for a minute? Wait a minute. What are we doing here? You think Oklahoma's going to stand pat? You think the University of Florida? Florida State. Yeah. You're resetting the standard. It is going to shape college football. The result for tonight will shape college football. Mind you, the thirds work. A third of the programs in the country will want to be and emulate and copy Indiana. A third of the country will follow and mimic the University of Miami and all of the things that it did, whether it's athletically, academically, or otherwise. And then the third will fall somewhere in the middle, looking at what works for either of those and pull that to find their own place. That's what tonight is. It is game-changing what will happen tonight and tomorrow morning after the results.
It certainly is, and it's crazy. I mean, you look at, kind of the narrative of the season, certainly has been Indiana to this point, and a lot of people, Indiana favored by 8.5, expected to win this one. But Miami can again turn the conversation on its head, of course, to Miami being back. As you mentioned earlier, it'll be insufferable for every other college football fan to hear from Miami fans. Yeah. The arrogance will return. And so it will definitely be interesting to kind of go. And a lot of the Husker fans, though, kind of think back to Miami, that 2001 experience. Of course, Butch Davis set it up for Larry Coker to take over. But maybe some hope for Nebraska fans along that way, again, is the gap between that and the now, right? The Larry Coker years certainly got ugly, and they had to move him, not wins, losses wise, fights on the field wise, but also quite not winning as much as they wanted to, move him along. Randy Shannon, 28-22 there as part of 4 years. Al Golden got his shot at 4 years there, 32-25. Mark Richt, Omaha native, by the way, 26-13 after his stint at Georgia in 3 years there. And then Manny Diaz, 21-15 for 3 years himself. And then it's been Mario Cristobal, and that hasn't always been the most pretty either. We've seen them lose games that they could have won in the victory formation by running an extra play. The 2022 season was 5-7. In fact, before 2024, and of course, just 2 seasons before that, Miami didn't finish in the top 20. And in fact, under Cristobal so far, this will be their first top 10 finish.
Well, but they disengaged from who they were.
Yeah.
They disengaged from the things that made them who they were. Like you said, we're not going to be the brash, loud, flashy Hurricanes that we were back in that era. Well, it sounds familiar, like another program from that era that decided they were going to go against those alums and that style of play. Look, there's a lot of folks here in Nebraska will tell you, quite frankly, we miss some of those things. You miss some of those things. And if you don't honor it, this is the most like that Miami team ever. It had to go back to find its greatness. It had to get back in the dirt. It had to get gritty. It had to get deep. It had to get doggish. That's what happened. And Texas says, Phil's asked the question, are you telling me that Uncle Luke isn't the guy that they're sending out to bring in big talent and headline coaches? Are you saying it's The Rock? The Rock has 10 times the money. At least 10 times the money Luke has. Maybe 100 times more money. The Rock is closer to $1 billion than he is. I would say Uncle Luke's worth $10 million. I'm gonna bet that The Rock is probably 800 million, 900 million. That's the difference we're talking about. That The Rock will be able to facilitate some things for those people who are intrigued by it. Way more than Uncle Luke.
Well, of course, that is part of the discussion, too, even on the opposite side with Indiana. Indiana got a little bit of help from Mark Cuban. Now that they're where they are now, the Shark is invested. You've got the Shark. So I know it's a little bit interesting, a different day and age. Buck and Uncle Luke's day, you know, kind of had to do things or tried to do things a little bit more quietly. That wasn't quite his style, but you know, nowadays your biggest donors can be right on the front page of your, you know, put a face of them on the stadium.
They have to be.
Yeah,
they have to be, and because validation matters, right? Validation matters, and the ability to collect people and to accomplish things outside the norm. Because what if somebody has movie star aspirations? Where do you go? You want branding? Do you need Broadway marketing? Do you need Hollywood marketing? Or do you need Midwest marketing? People who now have to make those decisions. And if you can make it happen, you're in play.
Well, there we have it. It'll be an interesting game tonight. We'll talk more about that, the NFL playoffs, and the Huskers electing not to go with a running back in the portal this offseason. I want to get DP's thoughts on that as well. We'll come back with that on 93.7 The Ticket.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to get stronger just around the corner, so you can give everything you've got. Whether you want to crush a few reps before class with our expanded strength equipment or sweat it out on your way home from work. With over 2,800 locations, there's a Planet Fitness close to you, and most are open 24 hours. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends January 30th. Are you coming? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Winter is just around the corner. Is your vehicle ready? Don't get left out in the cold. At A1 Automotive, we prep your car for whatever winter throws your way here in Nebraska. For battery checks, brake inspections, tires, heaters, whatever your car needs to keep you and your family safe on the road, we've got you covered. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Nutrition Authority presents Fusion 30, an ultra premium protein ideal for anyone wanting to look, feel, and perform their best. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old-fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
At Anderson Ford, we have commission-free guides who are paid to give you a great experience, not make a sale, so you can choose the best vehicle for you. Right now at Anderson Ford, Lease a 2025 Ford Escape for $222 per month. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 4003618. Lease for $222 per month for 36 months with approved credit. 7,500 miles per year. 5,000 plus first payment due at signing. No security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 2/2/26.
A lot of people in the summertime think, gee, I want to build a new home. By the time they go through the process of sitting down, getting the permits, and getting the home started, the home isn't done until January or February.
Bob Benish of Aspen Builders, and they've built neighborhoods in and around Lincoln for over 25 years.
I think the best time to start designing your new home is the month of January, because get an early start on it. Sit down, the snow's flying. Let's sit around the table. Let's drop some plans. Let's put numbers together. Let's get a budget put together, and let's get that thing started so that the home's done in summer or fall before school starts. So now is really the time to be contacting us to get an appointment to get the job done.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt on air and online at theticketfm.com.
We're back here on Bock and the Blackshirt on 93.7 The Ticket. Thanks for joining us here on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Happy holiday to everybody out there. It is also the national championship game today, coming off the NFL playoffs in a wild week. Speculating Husker football, I suppose, after Matt Rule made his appearance to kind of talk about Coach Eckler, what's kind of going on there on local radio, along with not going after another running back. So I did want to kind of get your thoughts, DP, on some of those thoughts over the weekend. I think it's been interesting to see the Eckler decision that is still not been made, I suppose, out there. A lot of speculation about what's going on. Coach Rule deciding again to go on radio and address that. Do you think that that's a good idea? I think it's interesting in general that Coach Rule gives us more of an insight into the program, into the opinions and thoughts of some of the assistant coaches, I think, than always necessary. But there obviously would be a lot of questions about, well, what was Nebraska doing to keep him, that sort of stuff. You think it was good to kind of jump out in front of it and kind of let Nebraska fans into the negotiation process, I suppose, with Coach Eckler?
Well, then I would have to ask, what do we know?
Well, we know that Coach Rule said that they did give him an offer to make him one of the. He said it twice now. The first or second highest paid special teams coordinator in the nation. It appears that it looks like might be interest in him on Coach Eckler's side to coach a position, which might be leading him to USC. Again, nothing is done here. We do have reports from CBS saying that is likely to happen. And then again, I think part of it was just the tone or the way in which this was so openly talked about. It feels like on Nebraska's side, it feels like it's almost done. So, in the reverse fashion, that he will not be here at Nebraska in the future. He also mentioned some guys that have been in the room that they could take it over in-house and that Coach Eckler taught him some things, and they will continue to move with that into the future. But so that's kind of where we're landing right now, I think. And we all are kind of thinking that if the USC announcement is made, it will be with a position coach tag as well as special teams coordinator, which might not have been available to him here at Nebraska.
This is where I get in trouble. You've had multi-tag coordinators before, right?
Yeah.
Right here at Nebraska, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty standard.
Okay. So why couldn't you do it here?
Well, I guess the thought is with Rob Orich coming in, having his defense the way that he wants it to. They've made an edge position. Eckler's got a history at linebacker, kind of front seven. They've made brought in Roy Manning along with Coach Orich. Of course, made a defensive line hire in Corey Brown. Maybe not directly connected, but I guess more the idea that to let Orich bring in his guys, the guys that he determines the best moving forward for the defensive staff.
So each group, we have new coaches in each defensive group.
Well, edge and defensive line, you do.
So defensive back coach comes back.
Yeah, although they did add a secondary safeties coach.
Okay, and then
yeah,
same. Just
there are two linebacker coaches right now.
Defensive coordinator.
Different defensive coordinator.
Okay, so starting over.
Yeah, don't call it a program reset though. Don't call it a reset.
Why?
Rule didn't like when you called it when it was termed a reset.
What should you call it?
Reshuffle, maybe. I'm not sure.
No, reshuffling is using the same cards and giving them different place in the deck. This, sir, this was almost erasing.
It looks like a reset to me.
I say what you say. And if that is possible, and you did all of that, so let's just say coordinator, linebacker, safety, that you brought in for the coaches, and in that process, you did not consider Eckler and his want and need and what was required to keep him, right? And you just simply said, nope, we're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. Okay. We're not going to do it.
Allowed him to coach a position in the bowl game.
You'd have a choice.
Putting some candy in front of him. You know,
well,
I don't know.
Matt Rule was the defensive line coach for the bowl game.
Right, yeah.
I mean.
Backwards, Matt. That's just Matt. Backwards.
That's just Matt. It wasn't Coach. I said this is where I get in trouble. Because all of it, none of it makes sense. And none of it matters. Because we don't know what all of this means. We don't know what the new scheme is going to be. We don't know what the new talent is going to be because transfer portal and it's two directional and it goes right. We understand that. We don't know what the roster is going to look like. We don't know in the coaching staff room how those coaches, one, how they're going to coach their group, and two, how they're going to work with the coordinator, right? And maybe they're having a meeting and maybe they work it all out and it's perfect. Or maybe they don't. But which one is more likely? That it works or it doesn't work?
Well, coaches, there's a reason why we have a coaching cycle. It's usually because the current guys aren't usually working as much. And more places than not. And
that this has happened every year. Every year it's a shuffling of coaches and coordinators.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody tells you, get old and stay old in the programs. That includes coaches. And if there's no consistency and no return to it, all right, then you just, okay. So tell me, maybe Cignetti did that? Did he change 4 coaches on the defensive side of the ball every year?
No, he's had the same coordinators from James Madison and before that. So
I don't listen, man. I want it to work. I don't know if it works. It doesn't work. I'm not that smart. I'm not that smart. I confess. You got me. I don't understand. But if you're changing coaches every year, what are we talking about? Third defensive line coach in 4 years?
Certainly third defensive coordinator.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it is the third defensive line.
Oh, okay. I'm just going to leave it there. I'm just because if you said you got 3, you have 3. Remember the days of having 3 quarterbacks and you changed them all, and you had 3 coordinators and you changed them all. And remember those days?
Oh yeah.
And we said we didn't like those days. We didn't like those days at all. We didn't like those days at all. So why would we like this? Why should we like this? Is probably the greater question. Right?
Yeah.
Why should we like this?
Well, and I guess the feeling is, and hopefully, and I think a lot of Nebraska fans, the problem is they want to give Coach Rule the benefit of the doubt, but with some of these previous hires and things that have worked out and not worked out, specifically, I mean, you had the chance to fix the defense last year and went with John Butler, and a year later you gave up on it. And again, the way that I view it is you potentially chased your first defensive coordinator out of town by bringing Butler on staff. Then had him, in Tony Butler, then had John Butler run Tony White's defense, and then got mad at Coach Butler for not getting the results you want out of running Tony White's defense And now here we are with Rob Orich. Now he said it. Hopefully, sometimes it takes 3 years to put a good staff together. That's what he heard from Bill Belichick. Maybe, and I think that's what's kind of interesting here too.
Bock, if you're going to sit here and be a troublemaker and point out facts, I don't listen. I'm not going to just have you sit here and spew facts at me like history matters or any of that stuff. I put my foot down.
Yeah,
I put my foot down. Text line, am I wrong? Should I put my foot down now? Is this where?
Is this enough of it?
Enough facts from you, Jake Bachman. Enough. We're not having it. Am I wrong? Text line, help me out.
Also over the week, Nebraska landed Owen Stodmeyer, the defensive lineman from Boston College. Take a step forward, take a few back. Andy Berberia looks like he's headed to Clemson. Of course, at one time, the Iowa Western defensive tackle is expected to be here at Nebraska. Terrence Green never made it to campus. The 6'5", 330-pound defensive tackle had some visits ahead of the Sunday visit with Nebraska, and I guess there's a place in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, I think it was, that he's committed to.
Are you telling me you got engaged and then went on a date with somebody else? Is that the world we're living in? Is this, hey, honey, I know we're getting married on Saturday. I committed to going on a date with a girl Monday. I know we're supposed to be on our honeymoon and all, but and Tuesday. And Tuesday, Monday and Tuesday, a different girl on Tuesday than Monday. But love you.
I had my concerns that Terrence Green might never make it to campus. It certainly did play out that way. Nebraska.
We're so weird. What are we?
Now the times we live in. Nebraska also, Matt Rule made it clear that they prioritized other positions outside of running back. They like what they have in the room and moving forward. And again, to me, I've been calling for a running back because I was trying to read their faith within that room, is that it looked like they didn't have a whole lot behind Emmett Johnson. Apparently they do, and they kind of put their money somewhere else here. I guess the idea that I want to get to eventually here, DP, is not a whole lot of skill position players or focus on running back, that sort of stuff. So you're not going to win the offseason, but can they do better by focusing on the trenches like they did here in the portal? And, I mean, you got to keep all this in mind as well, is that Nebraska only take a few, like 10, a couple handful of high school recruits here and didn't really focus on the in-state. So I think that kind of gets lost here when we're talking about this portal haul. And some people think, well, it's not quite what I wanted. We got to combine that too with what you wanted from the high school ranks as well. But I say all that to say, it might not be in the headlines, might not be a top 5 portal class. But maybe, is that a good thing at some point to maybe stop focusing on all the stars and the stuff around it and hopefully have identified the right people to come in here in this portal class?
If we can't rally around the coaching staff returning and knowing what we're dealing with, because we don't, then it should be the players. And if we don't know the players and we don't know the groups, if you tell me you're running a restaurant and you know what, you had a chance to improve the restaurant, the whole experience. Hey, Bock, you need a cook, don't you? You need one cook, or you need several?
Yeah, you better have a few.
Probably. You need a line cook, couple of prep guys, right?
Yeah.
You got to make sure that, because if any one of those things fail, the whole thing fails. It just collapses along the way. We don't know who's in the room. If you tell me you went out and got 10 offensive linemen from the transfer portal and 10 defensive linemen, I still don't know what you did. I don't know what you did. Now, I understand what you did, but I don't know. And we would all say, if you brought in 10 new linemen on either side of the ball, the likelihood that you made the team better is higher than if you went and got 3 running backs and no linemen. Right?
Yeah.
Running backs with no line aren't very good running backs. We've had some basic running backs who got the job done with a really good line. So, cool. We went and got offensive linemen, defensive linemen. Don't know if they're any good. We got more of them. Don't know. Don't know if they're any good. Don't know if they're any good, and don't know if we can develop them. You know why? Because we haven't.
Yeah. It is quite a place to be in for Nebraska football. I keep saying, I don't know if they're going to win the offseason. Again, I don't know if that's necessary to improve next year, but I do want to point out
Don't win
again,
the offseason. Win in the season.
Yeah.
I don't care that you win in April and March and February. What I'd like, end of season. You know what? Hey, Bock, here's what I hope for. A 3-week winning season at the end of the next year's season.
3-game winning streak.
Win the last 3 games of the season. Win the first 3, win the last 3, and let's see what we get.
Yeah, well, carrying some momentum to the offseason. What would that be like? That'd be crazy. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick break. We got one more segment coming up here on Bock the Blackshirt on 93.7.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep the clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street, online at doubleeagle.golf.
At Anderson Ford, we have commission-free guides who are paid to give you a great experience, not make a sale, so you can choose the best vehicle for you. Right now at Anderson Ford, lease a 2025 Ford Escape for $222 per month. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 4003618. Lease for $222 per month for 36 months with approved credit. 7,500 miles per year. 5,000 plus first payment due at signing. No security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Must take new retail delivery from Anderson Auto Group by 2/2/26.
When you were a kid, clubs were cool. Robotics club and space club and stuff like that. But what do adults get? Book clubs and quilting clubs? Nah, forget that. How about margarita clubs and old-fashioned clubs? Get to Upside Bar and Lounge for the best clubs in town. Try all 10 varieties of Upside margaritas or old fashions and take home a free souvenir glass. Grab the whole crew and pair it with taco night on Mondays or whiskey Wednesdays. Upside Bar and Lounge at 29th and Pine Lake.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Nutrition Authority presents Fusion 30, an ultra premium protein ideal for anyone wanting to look, feel, and perform their best. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
This is your year to win way more than bragging rights. At Warhorse Casino, your love of the game could earn you serious cash. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with cash prizes all season long, like up to $1,000 weekly, with your chance at $1 million, all while earning tier points and comp points every time you place a sports bet. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 1501 Center Park Road, just south of 14th and Highway 2.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
We're back here on Bock the Blackshirt on 93.7 The Ticket. DP jumping in studio with me here today. Thanks again, DP, for joining me. Thomas in Lincoln, you mentioned there at the end of that last segment, DP, to win 3 games at the end of the season. Thomas in Lincoln says, DP, do you know getting a last 3-game win is delusional? That hasn't happened since 2016.
I'm sorry. I apologize for asking for that. Like, I asked for too much. My apologies.
And I tell you too, and I can't say it enough. I've worked at the ticket since 2013. It's fun, it is the best job ever. I love it so much. But I would love at least a little bit of momentum once in a while heading into the offseason. They've lost 10 of 11, therefore 10 of 12 to Iowa, right? And the only time that they've beaten them in these last 12 years, they fired the coach that beat them previously. So you don't
coach.
You're not right. You're not carrying any momentum even when you did beat Iowa 2 of the last 12 years.
Right.
And that's the final game of your regular season. That's how you catapult yourself into the offseason.
How about here's an idea. Since you can't beat Iowa, can you move Iowa from the state?
Maybe we should do that.
Can we listen, the nerve of me to ask that this program finds a way to win its last 2 regular season games in a bowl. Yes, it's figured out how to win the first 3, right? First 3. Again, that means all of your offseason planning, all the offseason work, all the prep, the camp, you walked into it prepared to be successful in the first 3 games. And generally non-con, but that's okay. That's okay that you found a way to win the first 3 games. And then what it means at the end of the season, in the final 2 games of the regular season and the bowl game, in the final 2 games of the regular season, it means you have improved on the things that you started the season with, that you left camp with, and during season, you found some level of success in being able to maintain. So you finish strong like you started. And then you win a bowl game. You win a bowl game because that means no matter what else goes on, that you found some success, you got to a bowl game, and then you win the bowl game. You figure out how to prepare for the week and win the bowl game. And in between, hey, Bock, real novel idea. Win 2 of the 4 games in between, or 3 of the 5, or whatever the magic number is, right? Whatever that number is, that you use some of the success you created in the first 3 wins to win the majority of the games in the middle of the season so that you can win all the games at the end of the season. Like in basketball, win the first 4 minutes of a quarter or a half, right? Win the last 4 minutes. Baseball, you know what? Start strong. Got a closer, finish strong. In between, don't screw it up. Just don't screw it up. The sport, it's amazing how in sports we figure this out. Figure it out, Husker football. That's all anybody's asking. Figure it out.
Yeah, and they've had the years of maybe an easier schedule to do so. Next year will be a gauntlet. On 3 as jump the gun with their way too early 2026 preseason poll. Usually this is reserved for after tonight. Usually tomorrow this article comes out, but On 3 said, You know what? I know every other site's going to do that. We better do it today. They came out with their list here. Nebraska, as currently constructed their schedule next year, will face again. This is the early rankings from On3. Won't necessarily be, but in the ballpark of number 1 Ohio State, number 5 Indiana, number 18 Washington, at number 21 Iowa, at number 6 Oregon. Also, Illinois was not ranked in the top 25, but they were a 9-win program this past year and beat Tennessee and USC. Therefore, if Nebraska wins any one of those 6 games, that would be the biggest win likely. And we'll see. It might change by the time you get there. Maybe these teams won't be ranked, but that would be the biggest win likely since 2016. Lose all those games, and you better not lose one more because then you're not making it to a bowl game. So Nebraska, I think for years, and I've talked about it before, in the Big 12 North and the Big 10 West, they've had decades to kind of get this ship righted in the right direction.
I'm glad you said ship.
Ship, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where you were going, Bach, but I was willing to go there with you.
I've had to do that before.
I was on the ride with you, Bach. I just wanted you to know you were not alone, my
Ship
friend.
sailing, maybe I should say, in the right direction. There's not going to be too much room for error. They're going to have to be good. They're going to have to beat good to be good next year.
You're going to have to get better in a hurry. Figure it out. I don't know, man. I'm just here. I remind folks, I don't make the news, it's just report it. And we would love to report that things all is well and things are great. We'll end on a high note. Ready for this?
Yes.
Braden Frager named Big Ten Freshman of the Week. Attaboy.
That 3 times?
Yeah, at
Wow.
21 points a game on 59% shooting from the field, including 50% from 3-point range, 3.5 rebounds a game in the 2 Husker wins. This is the 3rd time he's won the weekly award, which is the most since Bryce McGowan's was an 8-time weekly honoree in 2021.
There you go. Not too bad of a company there for Braden Frager, the pride of Lincoln, Nebraska, as we know. Congratulations again to Nebraska basketball. They're number 7 in the nation. That is the new program high. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day to everybody out there. Enjoy your national championship game this evening. Old School coming next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
At Anderson Ford, we have commission-free guides who are paid to give you a great experience, not make a sale, so you can choose the best vehicle for you. Right now at Anderson Ford, lease a 2025 Ford Escape for $222 per month. Experience better at Anderson Ford. Stock number 4003618. Lease for $222 per month for 36 months with approved credit. 7,500 miles per year. 5,000 plus first payment due at signing. No security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Plus take new retail delivery